You registered for it through CMP. What would that have been in 2019?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of meshed in well because we were starting at that time to develop a program called the Milestones program in our Otterbeins, and we have I think 23 Otterbeins.
Hmm.
So we wanted to develop a program that would best serve our residents that are suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's. So we just really was trying to develop a plan of how we were going to give our folks the best care possible. And then this came up. So while we were working on that program, we all felt like the compassionate touch would be a great asset to the program that we were developing at the time.
Hmm.
So at that point, COVID hit after we just got certified. We're all excited about it, and then COVID hit, and you know how that what that did to healthcare. So within the last year, I started to work on the Milestones program again, and I was out educating our Alzheimer, our Otterbein folks in all of our Otterbeins about dementia, and I was trying to think of something different and more tools. We need tools in our toolbox for our staff to be able to care for our folks when they are having some kind of expressions. How are we? What tools are we giving our staff to help that person through the situation? So we added the compassionate touch to our toolbox. They call it a toolbox.
Hmm.
And I went out and started to train our staff members here in St. Mary's. And wow that the staff is like, wow, this is something we can really use on all stages of the disease. And that's what gets really tricky about the stages of the diseases is because one program might work for one stage of the disease, but with this, it can work for all the stages. And I think that's what's so meaningful to the staff. So we have implemented that. With that being said, I would meet with a team of folks here at Otterbein. We developed a team of we call it the milestone team, and we talk about what's best practices, what's next. We've done this, let's move forward. Well, our housekeeping supervisor, who also got trained with me with a compassionate touch, um, she brought to a meeting, and I'm going to show you real quick, Pam. She thought, instead of the staff trying to run around to try to find maybe lotions or whatever, for that resident, and some of the residents have lotions, some don't have in their room, or it's that real generic lotion,
Right.
But she developed these little bags here, and she made these, and this
Oh my
cute.
gosh.
Okay. And then in there, because we already do aromatherapy throughout the hallways and stuff, but how cool is this? She put um, calming lotion
Oh
in
my
there,
God.
and then some lavender oils.
Yeah.
And each resident that's on our Milestones program gets one of these bags. But then she took it one step further, and some of the instructions for a quick guide, if they didn't remember what they learned in class, they have a quick guide here on this package. So each of our residents are receiving these to be part of their toolbox, right?
Mhm.
To help them through whatever difficult times they may have. I have since just sent out an invitation to all of our family members because what happens around Christmas time? Everybody's saying, I don't know what to do with mom. I don't know what to get her for Christmas. They don't know what to do. So I've sent out an invitation to all of our family members now. And on November 20th, and I've had huge response, the family's going to come in. I'm going to educate them how to do the compassionate touch on their loved ones, and then offer them a starter bag. And then if they were looking for Christmas gifts or whatever, maybe that's something they want to purchase for that person's bag. And then we're going to take it one step further than that, since we had such a great outcome from the family saying, hey, we want to get educated on this. We have all levels of care here in our senior life. I started a committee called Otter Friends, And these are a group of independent living residents who come in and visit our folks with dementia. And I teach them about dementia. I give them the tools to do things with our residents. But they are also being trained now to do the compassionate touch. So when they come in and do visits now, that they can be doing this also. So um, then word got out with my otter friends. I have some retired nurses in the community, right? That's kind of heard about this otter friends and visiting with the residents and stuff. They are also going to come in. There's like 3 retired nurses that want to come in and start visiting our residents, and we're going to be teaching them how to do the compassionate touch also. So that's just keeps on growing and growing and growing. And hopefully my goal by the end of the year to have everybody in assisted living and nursing be touched by somebody at least twice a day. I just think that would be utterly amazing. And if
Um,
not our staff, our volunteers, if not our volunteers, the family members, whoever, to make sure that these folks are getting the love that they well deserve. So yeah, so it's been a wonderful thing. And everybody, I mean, you ask staff, you know, what's the hardest thing about caring for somebody with dementia? And a lot of times they'll say, I don't know what to do. Or you'll say to a staff member, you know, I see that they're anxious. Why don't you have them do something? And the staff will come back to you and say, I'm not an activities person. I don't know what to do with this person. You know, and we're setting our staff up for failure. You know, the families come in and, you know, they don't know what to talk about. They don't know what to do with us resident. We're setting their families up for failure. It's our job and it's our responsibilities as caregivers, as educated caregivers with this disease, to make sure that everybody's getting educated and they got tools in their toolbox to help care for our loved ones.
Thank you. I mean, you covered so many key points. One was that it works no matter what stage of dementia. I mean, it works with anybody, even if they don't have dementia.
Right, exactly.
Staff can do it to staff, and it's helpful for them. You know how it de-stresses those who are giving it. So that's a huge point. I mean, the bags are just, one step of making it easy, accessible, a reminder to staff to be able to give it to families. You're giving them a gift, really, to be able to spend some quality time with their loved ones. And you're right, a lot of times they just don't know what to do when they visit.
Right.
Loved what you said about, staff having, they need a tool that's easy, flexible, and works, right? Does that sum it up, or would you add something else?
No, perfect. You're exactly right. And that's always been my thing, you know. I ran a dementia unit for 20 years before coming to Otterbein St. Mary's, but you know, it's always been you need something fast, you need something now, you need something, you know, if you have to walk away from that resident and try to find something, there's valuable time where that expression is escalating when you're away and you're not trying to help them through that. So we have to have something very easy, very fast, very soothing to get them to keep them
Mhm.
stabilized, because we don't want these highs and these lows and all over the place. So but yeah, the staff really likes it because it is so accessible. It's right there. And also I've heard a lot of staff members saying they've been using this a lot for not only people with dementia but for end of life, where
Mhm.
they sat with their resident, and they said normally, you know, we would just sit there and hold their hand, which is great. But now they're doing this with their residents. And like you said, it soothes them to help them, you know, be
Yes.
a better caregiver. But it makes them feel like they've got a purpose, and that they're really there to help that person transitions, you know, to the next place. So
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wonderful feedback. It warms my heart really to hear this, because has always been the intention of compassionate touch, is for, it to really be embraced in communities so that it really is a culture change program that,
Right.
touch becomes part of their everyday use, and they think about that first when there's a stress reaction or when people need to be able to go to sleep. I'm sure your night staff is utilizing
Yes. Yep.
compassionate touch. Maybe.
Absolutely, they are. Yep. And that's exactly, it's fine during the first shift. You got your ancillary staff here, you got your activities, that's one thing. But when you get your second shifters, your third shifters, where they don't have that extra support system, and we're just kind of throwing them out to the wolves, and there you go. We're not going to give you nothing. We're not going to educate you. We're not going to, there you go, just take care of them. We're doing a disjustice. This is where you see a lot of burnout with staff, when they become frustrated, when they feel like they can't do anything, they feel helplessness. And
Mhm.
to give them that gift of feeling like they can actually do something, they can make a difference. And honestly, when you get into healthcare, that's your whole goal. You don't do it for a paycheck. You don't do it, because we become millionaires. You want to make a difference in somebody's life, and we got to give our staff, the tools to do so, and the education to do so. So, like you said, I feel like it's a gift to our staff, it's a gift to our families, it's a gift to our residents.
Yep.
I think we hit it all. So I do go around and I educate the rest of our Otterbeins with our milestone program, and this is a piece of it.
Mhm.
And I talked to our marketing, our development team. We're a profit for
Mhm.
profit
Yeah.
organization. um, so they were asking me, what financially what they would need, and I was telling them all about our little bags. I'm like, hey, blah blah blah. So I gave them your information. I hope you don't mind, PM.
Oh, that's
They'll be
fine.
reaching out to you, um, rather to get other. They would like to have somebody certified in each Otterbein, and to
Yeah.
get with you to see how the best way that would be. But we want to they seen the success here at St. Mary's, so they want to make sure that every home has that now.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I can just say, thank you. You have done it right. You took the time to really not only incorporate it with Milestone, but do the work of getting a broad, like your teams to be champions of it, which is obviously the housekeeping person. Oh my goodness, that is just
Isn't that amazing?
it is amazing.
And this is so when I developed them, or when I was helping develop the milestone, and we had all this stuff, whatever, and this has been certified through the Alzheimer's Association too, so we're awful proud of that also. Um, but when I started to work with this, and St. Mary's was one of the first ones to really see the milestones along. Um, Not one person, and mind you, I just did not, when I come up with a group here at St. Mary's, did I just not meet with an activities people or the nurses? I got one person from every department to be a part of this team to get the dietary's input, because there's eating issues with this.
Right.
I got the housekeeping, there's environmental issues, then maintenance, there's issues so we collaborated, this whole team here at St. Mary's, and we put people in different I guess silos that would normally not be. Like, I have the director of nursing, she oversees the programming part of this, which is like you think that activities person would be, but no, the nursing, because she knows what the staff has time for, she knows what to expect. So then I got Clarice, the head housekeeper, making me bags. It's crazy, and everybody's putting in these inputs that you normally, in a normal situation, you wouldn't even ask the housekeepers, and that's
Right.
unfortunate because they know these residents like the back of their hand. So getting those involvements from all the department has been magical, to say the least. Because I always stress it takes a village,
Yeah.
literally, to care for our residents, and our residents should not be treated like they're on an assembly line. These are people, And I think each one of us has a place at their table that we can give them the best that we can give them with our experiences and whatever background we have. So,
Yeah. Well, it's an example of engaging the staff. They saw that it worked. They they wanted to come together to make it, to bring it to the next level. I mean, obviously.
yeah, everything I throw at them, not one of them will say, well, we can't do that. Nobody's ever said that to me. And I find that, wow. They always say, well, how can we make this work? And um, that's pretty powerful, to be
Very
honest with you.
powerful.
Because normally you would think automatically people would say, well, that's stupid or that didn't work. But everything I've thrown at this team is, okay, how do we make this happen? Or if something doesn't work the way we think it should, it's never like, oh, that didn't work. It's always, okay, how can we do this differently to make it
Yeah.
work?
Yeah.
So that's been incredible.
Yeah. It's a great story. It's a
Yeah.
great story. Thank you so much.